Freestyle it.
That's right. We're good at that, guys. It's Friday. It's the takeaway. You know how we do. It's nothing to do with anti-Man United. We just talk Premier League. It's me, Mr. B. We've got Mr. Herbert in the house. We've got Billy in the house. We've got DM Vlog in the house. Guys, let's get the show on the road. Anthony, how we doing, man?
Not too bad, Mr. V. I just want to apologise to people because we had some technical errors. But listen, we've got it all sorted. In the backboard room, or whatever it is you want to call it, backstage, Billy had his beanie up and he started singing a rap. I thought it was crap, personally. And I'm looking forward to the stream. I'm glad that his rap was over.
Billy, how you doing?
Oh, yeah, man. All good. Fucking England are shit, boring. But apart from that, yeah, I'm all good.
I don't do international football, so it is what it is. DN, how you doing, man?
Good, been a while. United been back in form in the while I've been gone, so that's good.
I don't know about form. We got results. I'm not going to say anything. I don't think it's anything to do with form, to be fair. But yeah,
to be with the most informed team in the Premier League for the past 5 games. What else do you want?
I want us to play attractive bloody football.
Mr. B's allergic to bullshit. That's what it is.
Looks like that as well.
God, yeah, I can't do that, man. I can't do the crap, man. But look, let me talk to these guys in the chat. Solo, how you doing, my man? I'll come on to that. Rebel. Vincent, we see you, man. Rajat, we see you. DK. Gavin, yes. Welcome. Matthew Bassett. Hope that kid Gab's going down well. UK Strange, we see you, man. Right. A couple of topics to talk about, and then we can drift on to whatever we want to drift on, to be fair. But first things first, let me get our my god. See what happens when you leave the screen. Let's get this up. Our fantasy league. Let me tell you
Mr. B, do you want your number as well? Should I tell you?
Yeah.
What? No.
No, you've progressed.
No. What you need to do is keep your mouth shut because I'm not in the fantasy league. It was a dummy account, and I don't do fantasy league anymore.
Mr. B's team got done by FFP, so they folded.
Any excuse? I have been absolutely bloody shocking. Absolutely bloody shocking. But look, let's get the table up, and then I'll tell you what position I'm in afterwards. Netflix and Chill still winning it. Tyrone's back up to second place. I Don't Care is in third. United Loader FC is in fourth. Blink One Etienne is in fifth, 5-5. Tony Fox, I don't know what I'm sorting. That might be a spear word. Trying the Spurs, blah blah blah, is 6. The Gunners FC 7. Dodgy Left Eye is 8. Sorry, I didn't get the whole of your name up. Dot Clop Along is 9th. Don P is 10th. Stranger Mings 11th. Krish Kingdom is 12th. Squeaky Bum is 13th. Coney Under 12s is 14th. Blink Etienne. Oh, is Blink Etienne on here twice?
Yeah, he is. He's 5th and 15th.
Yeah, as long as I haven't made a mistake there. I didn't even realize that. But yeah, all right. So Blink Etienne. Is that right? 657, 650. 667. I got that wrong.
One sec.
Hold on.
Guys, as you can see, there are still technical errors being shown but do hold out, because this is why everyone joins us on a Friday night. There is no better place to be. If you want to feel like your week has been long, wait until you join this stream. It will feel even longer, mate.
Mr. B, he's fifth in reality. There's no one by the name of Billy Blink on number 15 on the list. On the app. So I think it's a glitch.
What the hell is going on? Oh, guys, let me just something's gone totally wrong here. Do you know what? Maybe if I just take this off. This is Friday, boy. I tell you what I'll do. If I just remove that, and we'll go back to the beginning, and we'll just say that we're not going to talk about Fantasy League this week. We'll save it for next week, because there's no Premier League games. There's no Premier League games. Okay.
Anthony, you're 16th.
Yeah.
Right, look,
I was waiting for this. Do you notice he stopped it at number 14? Stops at number 14.
Mr. B has
Look,
that thing that he stops it there, and he doesn't want to go under that.
He sees Gunner's 79 out the year, but he goes, "Oh fuck that!" Right, let's carry on.
all right. You know what? All right. Well, what I will say then, Anthony, you're up to 16th, Anthony.
Oh,
I have no idea what I printed up, but it was something completely wrong. Dom P is now 9th. And look, we suppose we better talk about the win. Netflix and Chill is winning. Ty the Tactician is 2nd, and I Don't Care is 3rd. I am 104th. On
2
this
points above
game
from last week. That's big, Mr. B.
Do you know what?
106th last week, man.
Don't take the piss, Ian. You won't get a bloody invite next week.
I'm happy. I went from 68th to 67th. That's one place above.
Oh my God! So I'm one of the worst. I mean, I don't even think OMONDI still plays the game anymore. So oh look, we deserve better. Welcome, man. Bath time. Yeah, but oh my God, who else is it going to be on a Friday night, man? Rory C. I need to get a Salah and Son in, but I've already used my wild card.
You need Jackson. That's what you need.
Michael Jackson doesn't play Fantasy League.
No. I'm talking about the Senegalese goat, mate.
I don't know you. I have no idea. I have no idea who he's talking about. I have no idea who you're talking about, man. Who? Bo Jackson? Who else? Come on, give me another Jackson. I'm not going to remember him. He's
Sir Nicholas.
Oh, he's Sir.
Ooh. Sir Nicholas.
Because he scored against a team who played with 9 men.
Hey, listen, we're playing better when they're at 11 on the pitch.
I don't know, Postecoglou, boy. Naive. But look, it is what it is. His tactics are what they are, I suppose. There you go. See? There you go. That's the name I was looking for.
I was screaming that song against Tottenham.
Oh, here we go. Look, I knew there was another one. Peter Jackson, direct. Well, I didn't know this one. But Bafta, I know this is right. Peter Jackson is director of Lord of the Rings. Did you know that?
Wait, I don't watch Lord of the Rings. I can't lie.
You know, do I? But look, guys, let's get these. Friday, we are actually going to discuss, amongst other things, cheating, in football. We've got VAR, obviously, that tries to wipe out, on-field cheating. But off-field cheating, Everton have been docked some points.
Good.
Today. Oh, you're saying good? You think it was a good thing that they got points docked, Billy?
Now I'm gonna wind up.
Yeah.
What an absolute wind up. I can't talk. I'm a Chelsea fan. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm the last person to talk about FFP cheating.
And that's the beauty. That's the beauty of having you on, because I do want to go. Let me move. I do want to get your I do want to get your point of view on that. And guys in the chat as well, obviously, you can tell that he supports the Chelsea one. He's a Chelsea fan. So give it to him in the chat, guys. What do you think should happen to Chelsea? What do you think, Man City? Obviously, look, we know Everton, they probably don't have the money to get the lawyers that Man City and Chelsea have. So maybe that's probably why they've been done. All jokes aside, it does sound like they cooperated with the league. And maybe they weren't expecting to get such a big ban. But do you feel this is for you guys here? Do you think that this is a sign that the Premier League are going to start hitting teams hard, or do you think it was just a one-off and because it's Everton, they've kind of got if it was maybe a big six team or Chelsea or Man City, let's put it out there, that they wouldn't have got that punishment, Anthony?
Well, I mean, trouble is though, you've got to think with Everton, he's come out, they've getting done by FFP, they're going to be fined 10 points. What have they got to do? They've got to win games. And I mean win games if they're going to be deducted these 10 points at the end of the season. I think it is at the end of the season, isn't it? Pretty much. But, you know, they've got to start winning games. You hit the nail on the head there, Mr. B, about the likes of, you know, obviously we've got Chelsea, there's Man City as well. Why ain't they getting, you know, why is FFP not knocking on their door? We're worried at Arsenal. We're worried at Arsenal because apparently it's come through the the media that FFP might be knocking on our door, or they're close to knocking on our door. So you know, is all these speculations going around? They can what?
No, I was going to say you're saying it enough. So what? There's rumors about Arsenal. Is there? What's the deal with Arsenal? What's the situation?
Yeah, I mean, obviously with the players that we still got there, and with the high wage bills and stuff like that. So you know, I mean, there is speculations that we could be getting rid of a couple of players in the January transfer window and just bringing in loan players instead of buying. Obviously, with people with lower wages. I mean, there is talks about Ruben Neves coming in on loan, even though he's just gone to Saudi, you know, this season. But there's talks that we could be loaning in January. So you know that I mean that's a possibility because there's players there at our club that's on too high wages. I mean, Eddie Nketiah being one of them, as far as I'm concerned. And don't get me started on Kai Havertz. Do not get me started on him because his wages are absolutely extortionate. 300 grand a week. That to me is virtually it should be non-existent. That. But going back to Everton, I do feel sorry for Everton, to be honest with you. This
Just
is
like
a team
DK Wilson.
This is a team that you know you would expect FFP knocking on their door, to be honest with you. So I don't know what's going on there, but it's obviously something to do with the maybe the wage bill, the players they got there, because they still got quite a lot of players there. I mean, they got definitely depth to their team, Everton, but you know that's all I can think of is just the actual wage bill. So if they've got off-league players in January, they're going to have to. But the main problem is this 10 points deduction, because they were close to relegation last season, weren't they? And Sean Dyche managed to get them out of it, which needed work towards the end of last season. So it's going to be a hard season for Everton and Everton fans.
A lot.
Definitely.
What do you reckon, Bill? Actually, I want to say, Billy, I want to save you till last. The end. What do you think, man?
I personally think the decision is right. Something has to be implemented in the case of FFP. But I think Everton being, as Anthony said, that they're really close to the relegation battle in the past 2 seasons. So there was a process probably thinking about how they'd be in the same battle this season as well. Even though the points do get deducted at the end of the season, I personally feel the FFP has to be equal with everyone, whether that be Man City, Chelsea, Everton. And I think Man City are the ones who have the most charges anyways, 115, I think, isn't it? So because of that, now that they've done this with Everton, they should do it with every club that is under charges or under the FFP problems. And I think Manchester City should be next after Everton, specifically whatever they've done. So I think this is a good step. But I still do feel that, as Anthony did say, their depth is very big with Everton, and I think it'll be really, really hard, especially with the 10-point deduction. I think they could stay up this season. I think that's a major problem for them now.
Billy, as you're kind of in this situation because you support a bunch of cheats, let's get your opinion on this, please, right?
Yeah, I'm going to say a lot of things that people are going to hate, but I'm used to being hated as a Chelsea fan, so it's fine. I'm going to start off with fact number one. Everton have clearly been found guilty, and it has been discussed for years with Everton, with these charges and these rumours of FFP breaches and investigation. So if you're looking at the the minute amount of FFP rules that Everton have actually abused or cheated with, there's 115 of them to go through with Man City. Someone put it earlier. I can't find the name, but shout out to them. They said something like there's 115 charges to go through with Man City. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not. If someone breaks, the easier way of putting it, if there's 115 charges compared to 50, the 51 is going to get done obviously a hell of a lot quicker. So we're going to see Everton being breached and being punished a lot earlier than Man City. With Chelsea, I mean, Rebel said it on the street. We grasped ourselves into it. The new accountants and everything found that there was a secret offshore account to do with Abramovich that was still linked with the club before Bowley came into it. So I think it's going to be... I think it helps that Chelsea have dipped themselves in it. I think it may be a thing of Chelsea going, oh, well, we did breach it. Be kind to us. So hopefully that's something that will happen for us as a Chelsea fan. If I'm a non-biased fan, I'd like to see more punishment done to Chelsea and City. And to be completely honest, I wouldn't be against the idea of stripping titles or trophies.
But but you know what? Part of it, I think, is, to me, that part of it is the ridiculous side of it. I'm not being... What, you're going to strip it? What are you going to do? Give it to somebody else?
I think, well, when
everybody up a place.
Well, when you're looking at Man City and Liverpool, for instance, when they were coming up against each other, if you're looking at Liverpool and City being neck and neck, except one of them was getting done with 115 charges, you're obviously going to be able to go, well, look, clearly, without that cheating and that backing, City wouldn't have done as well. So if you're stripping titles and potentially moving around... If you're potentially trying to move around titles, I can see that could be something. But unfortunately, the past is the past and it's already been written. They can only act upon it now. So, yeah, it's a very tough one. But I think people need to wind their necks in a bit about how quickly it's going to be able to get done. 115 charges to go through each individual time to be able to get City done with all of them. It's going to take some time to get through it all. Plus, they've probably got some of the best lawyers on standby, ready to argue and every. So,
yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy. DK, what's this on here? It's crazy. But Havertz be on higher wages than Marcus. How much is Havertz on? Anthony?
Havertz is on. It's been reported. I think he's on 320 grand a week.
He was on 300.
So he's on Russia.
280. Havertz is 280.
280.
Let me check.
Yeah, but that's with, I've read that before, but that's with tax and all that taken out. Like, obviously, because everybody pays tax. Look. So obviously he's got that, and he take off the tax, and that is what he's left with is 280. So
Rashford's on 375.
Oh God Almighty. Okay. All right. Well, I don't know, man. Let's see what We Deserve Better says. You just take the title of the cup from the team and say there was no winner that year, but it will never happen. I mean, even that, what is the point? They've cheated, they've won it, they didn't find him out. Fair enough, but I don't get. I don't get it. I mean, there was a lot of people in there saying that the Premier League, this is a good season for them to get 10 points, to get 10 points deducted because the bottom of the league is so shit. I mean, you know, would that be a serious point to make, or are we talking about bantering here? Because they could be right to a certain extent, but I don't know. I just don't think that they can afford to lose the 10 points. I mean, Everton, they've had a half decent start to the season, but I'm not sure it's going to be 10 points clear of the bottom three start of the season that they'll finish.
Man. I think what they're better off doing, Mr. B, is taking the 10 points off them now. Because you look at it, the three teams that's come up, Burnley, Sheffield United and Luton, how many games has gone this season? It's 12, isn't it? So in 12 games, they've only won one game each. Sheffield United's won one, Luton's won one, and Burnley's won one, I think. So if you look at on the positives of that, I can understand what people are saying to that extent. So that there are positives with those bottom three, which more likely looks like those bottom three will go down. Everton ain't got a problem in winning games. It's like what you said; they've had a half decent, tidy start of this season. So I feel that that they're better off doing it now, the 10 points, and then they can just make their way up from there. So it's a bit hard. It's a bit horrible when you do it. Like if they are going to do it towards the end of the season, if those 10 points, they could be a little bit vital. That's all I'm going to say.
Do you think that there will be a relegation involved within Chelsea or City? Like, do you actually? Because I've seen a lot of speculation. If you're looking at 10 points, Everton, are you looking at 115 or 1,150 point deduction for Man City? Are you going to see a relegation from City, or do you think it will be more of a strict titles, or what do you actually think will be the outcome? Because we've seen it with Ivan Toney, for instance, and Tonali with the betting, right? Yes, it's always been a big deal, and yes, there's always been rules put in place. But only now we're starting to see real punishments and real actually making them a point and making a point to say, look, this is an issue and we are going to be punishing it to the fullest extent. Do you think they're going to do the same with FFP rules now?
Well, going back to, was it two seasons ago? Man City had this same problem, didn't they? It came up and it occurred to them. And what was the punishment that Man City had? You just might as well say it was a slap on the wrist, But with the likes of Man City, I can't see them. I can't see them chucking them out the league and that. They most probably end up getting a hefty fine. They'll get a hefty fine, and most probably they'll have to go all season where they'll be told they're not allowed to buy players. They'll most probably have to sell some players. They get a fine, and they most probably get round about the total deductions of points of what Everton's got. There's always a way out of things, and I feel with Everton, you've got, to a certain extent, you've got a feel for them, but for the likes of Man City, and Chelsea, who are owned by these rich owners, and they're, it seems like they get away with it. But the likes of Everton, now Everton's coming to the equation, it feels like they're down on them straight away. So that's how I've been finding it. But I think that's what would happen with Man City and the likes of Chelsea. That you'll have a season where you sign new players, 10 points deduction, and hefty fine, and you most probably have to sell players to even out your books. And that's that, and that's all I can say.
Yeah, I mean, Man City are winning the league by more than 10 points. Surely, I mean, I'm hoping. This is one for you, Matt. If you could answer this afterwards. If City get all their titles stripped, Anthony, will you demand a bus parade for your accountants?
City get all their. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not being. I'm on my phone now. They're going to get a message. So hopefully, Premier League title might be coming to us from last season. So yeah, you see a parade is always going to start off at Bristol and it's going to go all the way out to the Emirates. Past Mr. B's house, I'll be at the top saying, "Hey, Mr. B, I'll be polishing the trophy up when it goes past his house. This is what it looks like, mate."
We've seen it already. We're not spares. We've seen trophies. Rangers got expelled from the professional league in Scotland. I'd like City to be sent there too. I just don't think it would ever get that. I don't ever think it would get that. It would get that far.
I think, Mr. B, with that point, I think if you think about it financial wise, right? Yes, we're talking about financial fair play anyway. The amount of money that Man City alone bring into the Premier League with the superstars they have, Guardiola at the helm of it. Do you think that the FFP and FIFA or whoever's the head of it or whatever, do you think they're going to crack down that much and potentially lose such a big selling point? Because if we're thinking about it, realistically, Man City are probably pulling in big numbers when it comes to TV subscriptions and shirt purchases and towards the Premier League itself as a whole. Do you think that the Premier League are going to turn around and go, are we really going to smack the arse of probably one of our biggest money consumers, if you will?
Okay, so then that makes the Premier League look like a bunch of frauds then.
Yes, I'm playing devil's advocate. Obviously, I don't agree with that. But I'm saying, could there be a potential that could happen?
Yeah, it could well be. As I said, I just don't think Everton have... I'm not saying Everton are broke and lawyers, or, you say this and this, but I actually think that Joe Evans has agreed with you there, by the way. Welcome, Joe. I haven't seen your name before. I'm just the fact that Everton have been docked 10 points, I'm hoping is a precedent to what could happen in the future. They got docked 10 points for whatever charges they did. If Chelsea's charges are worse than Everton's, then give them more of a ban. If Man City's are more, give them more of a ban. If it's less, fine. The problem is Everton obviously naively said, they would help them out, and they seem to have, because they've been caught, they seem to have helped them, been helping them along the line. That's bullshit. If you've been skanking, you've been skanking. So I'm glad they've been punished. It just seems to be, it was very quick, considering obviously Man City have been sitting down there doing, everybody knows Man City's 115 charges. That's minimum.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think there is an issue, but I think it's more financial clout than anything else, to be fair. I think they're just tying it up.
If Man City do get stripped of their titles, that means we get 2 Premier Leagues for us as well, Mr. B.
Why? No, I see, as I said, and that's my point. So what, it gets stripped and handed to second place moves up to third place moves up to fourth place, or is it a thing where it should just be done? There was no title handed. This is my point. Because then what do? Are you then saying that that their games, their results are void for the season? What about, the teams that got relegated lose? I mean, look, everybody loses to Man City, but do you get my point? That's more what I'm thinking. It's more for the integrity, so-called integrity.
I'd agree with Anthony in the sense of how, with the way Manchester City and Chelsea have been run for the past 10 years, you could see in the size of the clubs they are. Probably the best way would probably be just to get them like a 10 or 12 point deduction like Everton have had, and just a big fine for both of those clubs, because the Premier League can't
money, it's no punishment.
The Premier League can't lose 2 of its biggest revenue generators, can it?
Well, that was my point, DM.
So I think personally, even though the jokes aside about them stripping the titles and stuff, I think probably, as I said, maybe a maximum 15-point deduction for both, specifically Man City with the charges they have. But I don't think there's anything else they could do, because, as you said, I get the money part isn't going to be a punishment, but do you have anything else in mind that they could do probably to get them?
Like I said, they weren't allowed to sign any players for a season, and then we'd probably have to sell some of the players what they've got in that team to balance out the books. They'll have to do that. So that'd be more like Chelsea's and Man City's. That's most probably what would happen to them. But regarding Everton, obviously they got the 10 points deduction, which is okay, which is fine, and they'll have to most probably. I don't know. They most probably have to pay a fine as well. But I mean, regarding the books, I don't really know how much their player. I don't know what their top earner is in Everton's football club, whether it's Calvin Lewin or what. I'm not too sure, but obviously something could have to be done there. They're most probably banned Everton for signing players for one whole season. That'll always be on the cards. You will not like to sign any player for one season.
Yeah, and sorry to cut you off. Chelsea got around that. We saw that we
Yeah,
had a transfer ban and we still signed Kovacic.
Yeah, I know.
Billy, was
Because
that due to FFP rules as well, or was it the transfer ban that Chelsea had in 2019-20? Was that because of?
I think that may have had something to do with FFP, but I also think that when a club has 33 players on loan in one season, there's definitely some suspicion going on. So that probably didn't help either.
we talk about this with players, but not being funny. Look at all the players that Nottingham Forest signed when he first got promoted to the Premier League. Obviously they've gone above with some of those players and the wages that they've injected into that team as well. Surely they might be up there for FFP. I don't know, but it won't surprise me if they were with the amount of players that they signed last season when he got promoted.
But
Yeah.
Anthony, I was just checking.
To be fair, everybody was speaking. They needed to sign those players because three quarters of the team that they came up with weren't theirs. They were loan players and stuff like that. So they needed to go out and buy players. So it would be interested on that one, to be fair, Matthew. Matthew. God, that's why my brain's so fucking tired. Sorry, Anthony. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. But it's like what he said. It won't surprise me if that comes up maybe next season, Mr. B. Within that Nottingham Forest team, because it just seems like that's an awful lot of players to sign. Because when a team gets promoted from the Championship to the Premier League, on average, a team normally signs around about anywhere between 4 to 6 players a season. But then they went off the scale with it. Mm. So do you know what I mean? So is a possibility they can be thrown into FFP further down the line. But unfortunately, until that time comes, we're just playing a guessing game here. But it wouldn't surprise me if it does happen.
Everton's
bath times
are 130k, by the way.
Say again, what was that?
Everton's highest earning player is 130k a week.
Who's that?
Decorah.
Yeah, that's mad. Chelsea have got like Buddy Ashil on probably. Yeah, but that's mad. Thinking about that and the amount of. But then also, we definitely put in more numbers than Everton. So then
there you go.
I think to help this, I think there should be a wage cap. I think
no, because then they'll just play players under the table.
Yeah, we saw that with Arsenal, believe it or not, and I still firmly believe that when Arsenal signed Willian and David Luiz, I'm pretty sure their agent I'm pretty sure Willian got a restaurant in North London when he signed for Arsenal, or that there was definitely something under the table that happened with the Brazilians that went from Chelsea to Arsenal.
I have allegedly, by the way, allegedly. What is that blue drink that you're drinking?
Mate, that is the Slush Puppy original fizzy drink. Shout out.
It's Diamond Boy.
God almighty, you're drinking a blue drink. You're an adult and you're drinking a blue fizzy drink.
Damn straight. I'm blue through and through.
For some reason.
Billy, the one rule is Mr. B doesn't drink anything that's diluted. I don't know if you knew that. It's true.
Yeah, look, he's saying look.
Yes,
Joe's bigging up your slush puppy, boy.
But look, guys, he's a Pompey fan.
See, look, there you go. Look, he's saying you're different class. But you obviously don't know Billy very well, do you?
Mate,
Joe, but it's all right if you think he's different.
I'm
Different planet,
gravy.
maybe. I'm not sure about different Clark.
Different gravy. Damn.
You lot are beef gravy. I'm chicken.
Listen to you.
God.
Talking of chickens and I needed to ask you this, Anthony. We're gonna divert from this Everton talk. Social media and what it does for players' reputations. I couldn't stop laughing when I heard that Ramsdale's dad, they said he's lost his smile. He's not happy anymore. Blah blah blah. I just think he's setting up his son to get absolutely battered. Do you think it was better that he should have kept his mouth shut, Anthony?
Well, do you know what, Mr. B? I'll come to that in a sec. But first things first, I do want to say we've got two good goalkeepers there. We've got Ramsdale and Raya. And personally, out of the two, I prefer Ramsdale to Raya. I just want to put that out there. I think there's a problem, obviously, between Ramsdale and Mikel Arteta. I think they've had a falling out. They've had an argument over this, that, and the other. Regarding Ramsdale's dad, listen. I mean, we've got kids. We're fathers at the end of the day, and there's nothing wrong with giving any of your kid advice in life. Nothing wrong with that at all. I think what he's done, Ramsdale's dad done it the wrong way. I mean, he should have given him advice, and then he should have went on to Mikel Arteta, knocked on his door, and had a word with him. For his dad to make it go all public, all over the news, all over social media, and God knows what else, was a stupid move. I don't agree with it. He's basically what he's done. Yeah, he hasn't done any favors for his son, Aaron Ramsdale. He hasn't done any favors for him. Is stupid. He shouldn't have come out and said anything. Like I said, Ramsdale should have spoken to Mikel Arteta. After the international breaks, Arsenal has got Brentford. Brentford is our next team. Now, that means Ramsdale's going to be in goal and not Raya. Because Raya, for some reason, he's not allowed to play against his old team, Brentford.
Oh, of course, okay.
So it's Ramsdale in goal. So with all this, that's escalating, and, this, that, and the other. It makes you think now he's going to have to pick Ramsdale. Unless he dips down into the reserves and play a young goalkeeper. Because with his dad doing that, I think that's put his career on basically, well, hasn't done his any favor to his career, basically. I think Ramsdale should have manned up about it. I mean, coming from Sheffield United, I don't know what wages he was on there, but I could imagine it wasn't a lot. But coming to Arsenal now, Aaron Ramsdale is on anywhere between 130 to 135 grand a week at Arsenal. So he's playing for a better team. He's got more money. He should man up about these things, because these things just don't happen in football. These things that happen in everyday lives, like in people's jobs. Hell, it's happened in my job. It's slightly happened towards me as well. And but I got to be honest with you. Yeah, just man up about it. And I don't agree with the whole thing. What's going on? If anybody's got a problem with anybody, a player should knock on the manager's door and speak in private in the office with the manager and speak like men, and that's it. That's my views on that.
And see, I've sorry to jump in. I've only got one issue with that. How do we know that Ramsdale hasn't tried that? How do we know that Ramsdale hasn't knocked on Arteta's door, gone, yo, stop playing your Spanish friend, let me start playing again, and let me show you why I should be number one, and Arteta's just gone, go away. I'm starting Raya. Because from a non-Arsenal fan, right, from an outsider looking in, I feel for Ramsdale because he proved that he was one of the best keepers last season in the Premier League. Genuinely.
Yeah. Did he?
Yes, there's statistics out there that will pick apart his game and go, oh, well, he had the most mistakes from any keeper in the league, or he had this or that. Remember, portion of that season, Arsenal lost their best defender, and we saw a lot of Arsenal struggling. So
Yeah.
I understand Ramsdale errors, right? To go and sign Raya just stirred the pot massive. There was no issue with Turner as the backup. He did all right in Europa League. Matt Turner did. He did all right in Europa. I've got the thumbs up
Yeah,
from
but
an
I think it
Arsenal
was the drop off, surely.
But I
Surely
just
the
think,
drop off was too much, though.
Well,
yeah, in my opinion, I think
I think he's done that. I think Ramsdale may have done that, and I hope he's done that. But I think with Raya, I mean, I like Raya. He is a good goalkeeper, but I'm just not a fan of him. The way how he plays out the back is number one. But what makes it even harder? I've heard so far, and I believe I heard somebody say it on another stream, that Raya and the Arsenal goalkeeping coach are best of friends. So that's another one you could put into consideration. You know, if there's a bit of favoritism there. But I mean, I don't know. But I think you might see Ramsdale against this Brentford team. I think if Ramsdale plays really well and keeps a clean sheet and we go on and win this game, I feel that Ramsdale should have the nod to turn around and say, look, Arteta give him the nod and say, look, you're in. You're in. I mean, I just don't understand it. There's things that Ramsdale's done in there what I don't agree with. That's all I'm going to say. I don't agree with his dad, because if anything, that's put jeopardy on Ramsdale's career. And look, he's going to have the piss ripped out of him. Let's be honest. You know, so he's going to have the piss ripped out of him. He's going to have so much stick for that, but his dad going public with because he's lost his smile. I'm not being funny. How the hell could you lose your smile? You're a professional goalkeeper. If he was earning, I don't know, let's see if he was on 50 grand a week, 50, 60 grand a week at Sheffield United when they got relegated, he's doubled his wages and a little bit more. So obviously, trouble is though, you get blows in life, and unfortunately, this is his blow at the minute. But he's got to prove Arteta wrong, and most of these Arsenal fans wrong. He's just got to rise up to the equation and just keep plodding on and going and going and going. Because really, there's reports with Aaron Ramsdale, that he could be going to Chelsea for 60 million in January. But then again, there's a possibility that that might happen. That might happen.
Okay, so Rory's saying, where's the question? Sorry, this one. So Rajiji, he's saying that he'll take Ramsdale at United. He'd love, oh God, he loves it here if you're at 9 or maybe Pickford. So it's looking like Rajiji would have him at United. I'm not sure. Is Ramsdale? I don't know. Maybe because he's an Arsenal player, and the fact that Arsenal don't want him is more what puts me off Ramsdale. But
I mean, he's not just thinking of his.
I know, Anthony.
He's not thinking. He's not just thinking of his Arsenal career. He's thinking of his international career as well. He also wants the first spot for England. He wants to take that away from Pickford. But then again, not being funny with England, you got Pope. That's in there. He's coming up, so he's fighting off two keepers to be the England number one. He's mentioned that in an interview. So he's got that to contend with as well. But
so do you think the fact that he's not a Southgate favourite, because obviously, look, this isn't a banter. This is Maguire gets picked and Phillips gets picked, and they're not playing. They're not actually in. Maguire now obviously is started playing. Do you think it's a favoritism thing? It could be a favoritism thing with when it comes to the England manager and the England squad.
It could be. It could be. You know, I mean, obviously, even if you're an England manager or a manager of Man United or whatever, you're still going to have your favourites. And to me, that is wrong. If Do you know what, Mr. B? If I was the Man United manager, Oana was my goalkeeper, and we didn't like one another, we didn't get on. If he's doing the business in goal and he's doing it really well and to the best of his ability, then I'll pick him because he's doing right for the teams and he does right by the fans as well because the fans would like him. It don't make a difference what I think. I know I'm the manager, but if he's doing a job, he's doing a job well done, he's got to be in that team. But it's like what I said, he's not doing a job well done because of obviously Raya. The only person that's to blame to this, Mr. B, is Mikel Arteta. You've got to blame Mikel Arteta and Edu because they wanted him Raya. I couldn't see the point. To me, that wasn't an important position for us. Our important position was a backup for Saka because we ain't got no backup for him because he's being used too much. He's literally knackered when he's finishing games. And I noticed he's playing good, but he's not playing to his strengths because he's playing every game. And he just wants a rest. But it's like what I said, why bring in that goalkeeper? Matty Turner was happy to be number 2. He knew he was Arsenal's number 2 and Ramsdale was Arsenal's number 1. Right? So to blame for this is Mikel Arteta and Edu for bringing in Raya. That's a fact. And the other fact is Aaron Ramsdale's dad, what he done was stupid because he personally, I didn't think he was thinking of his son when he was doing it. Because you tell me, if he went out, he got paid money to say this about his son.
Mm.
He got paid for it. It's obvious. So he's not worried.
Yeah, but if I'm not a parent, but I can imagine that if you are a parent, right? And you see your son, who is extremely happy, starting for a top club in the Premier League, finishing runners-up in the Premier League, and having a really good time whilst getting minted, to then the manager signing a keeper who is who gives you competition, right? Yeah, I think, like you said, I think Arteta has just intentionally stirred the pot and got it completely wrong. You had Matt Turner, who was a second, who was happy to be a second, but instead, I feel like I don't know. I feel like Arteta maybe wanted more, but I think part of it is his dad looked and saw his son clearly unhappy, and I think potentially Ramsdale's dad thought, you know what, if I come out and say it, maybe it might stir up a bit of controversy. It might cause the public to get on Arteta's back, which then may cause Arteta to start playing Ramsdale more. The only person who knew what Ramsdale's dad was doing was Ramsdale's dad at the end of the day. We can all speculate his intentions behind it. But I do think overall, I think Ramsdale's dad did it from a good place. And yeah.
I think really this becomes an issue just like Sancho's is at United. I get that the Sancho one was his own fault in the sense of he tweeted what he felt like. But in this case, with what Anthony said about how Ramsdale's dad said that he's lost his smile and stuff like that, I think the biggest thing that Ramsdale should have done is just train as hard as he can. And the game that he's getting against Brentford is a really good chance to prove Arteta wrong on why he's picking Raya, first of all. But another thing I don't get about Anthony could answer this properly is Ramsdale was a choice that was brought in by Arteta as well. When Leno was keeper, when he was first choice, then he brought in Ramsdale that he would take his place. So why do you think, I saw in the comments, is it one of the reasons why Arsenal lost the league last year? Could it be that he wanted to switch Ramsdale and bring in another keeper instead?
It could be. I mean, don't get me wrong, Ramsdale was making a few mistakes towards the end of last season, and that's a fact. But, you know, every player has bad days. I mean, look at it. Cristiano Ronaldo, he had bad days at Man United, you know, and that was the first time he played, and also when he came back to Man United. All good players, world-class players, do have bad days. I mean, it was like Billy touched on it. We had Saliba like injured, so that was an impact on us. So we had a few injuries. So, you know, but I mean, that's by the by. You can't use that as an excuse because one player, which is star defender, right? One player didn't make a team. 11 players make the team. So I'm not going to look at that as an excuse. But when you say things like obviously star players out, you can sort of read between the lines of that a little bit. But I mean, like with Rhea, I mean, he got in Rhea because I don't know whether Mikel Arteta wants a different change this season, a strategy of playing from the back, so from the goalkeeper playing out. Because if you notice, I'll be honest with you, Rhea don't know how to kick a bloody ball. He can't kick a ball down the pitch. He's always throwing it out to players. And how many times has he threw the ball out and he's gone to the opposition and they've almost scored from it? He is going to get caught out with that one day. And this is why I don't like Rhea and I don't understand Mikel Arteta's philosophy for this season if he wants to play like that. I always say, when you're playing from the back and you've got the opposition in your box still, don't play from the back. Kick the ball at the pitch. It's basic.
That's the philosophy, though.
Mr. B's a manager. Ian Moose probably told his goalkeeper that last week. I hope he got man of the match, by the way, Mr. B.
You're funny. I'm not sure it's tactical. I think it's personal.
Well, it could be a bit of both. It could be a bit of both. But with Ramsdale, he should be the happiest man at the minute because his wife gave birth to a child 3 weeks ago. And his dad doing that, he's become a granddad as well. So they've got that as well. So just think of the positives. I mean, he should have kept his mouth shut for his son because his son is playing for Arsenal. He's on the books and he's getting paid. That's all I'm saying. Is the rest is down to Ramsdale to sort out, man up, and try and get in that first team and get that first team spot. That's all I'm going to say.
I've seen it firsthand with Chelsea players where fans have sat there and said they need to train harder or they need to prove it to the manager, but deep down we don't know. Like Ramsdale, for all we know, right, could be going to training. He could turn up half hour early. He would leave half hour late. He would constantly work hard for day in, day out. He would be saying, Arteta, watch me, play me, look at me, talk to me. Like, I just think we don't know for sure what happens behind the scenes, right? But yeah. I do definitely think that Arteta has completely cocked up on this, and I mean massive.
Yeah.
Because Ramsdale, like I said, was probably third or second. No, maybe that's a bit high. But he was one of the best keepers in the Premier League last season. I remember Liverpool at Anfield. Arsenal started playing well. You started getting on Xhaka's back. Liverpool started getting, or Xhaka woke up Anfield. Then you started getting hammered, and Ramsdale was the only reason you walked out of Anfield with a point.
Yeah.
Right? I remember that. So for teams to, or for fans to say Ramsdale's statistics are bad and his mistakes are too often, you rocked up to Anfield, which is probably one of the toughest away days, and you got a point from them due to Ramsdale and Ramsdale alone.
Yeah, so, I know what you're saying. Yeah, and I feel sorry for Ramsdale. And personally, I prefer to pick Ramsdale over Rhea. I mean, there's Arsenal fans that says, "Oh yeah, but Ramsdale's better with his hands, saving with his hands." Yeah, fine. Rhea is more quick on his feet. He can block a ball with his feet. I don't care if you're a goalkeeper. All right, if you stop a ball shot with your foot, all right, yeah, fine, fair enough. But you're goalkeeping. There's a reason why you're a goalkeeper and you wear goalkeeping gloves. 90% of your saves are going to be with your hands, and that's it. I mean, I can't say any more than that. But it's like what I said. Mikel Arteta has ballsed up. So is Edu. Except that they ballsed up because I can't see the point of bringing in Rhea. This thing has cost us $3 million. Plus they want another 20. I think it's another 22 next season. So I think he's going to cost a maximum of $25 million. I mean, what's the point in that? what's the point in that? It was an area. It's like what I said. That was an area, a position. Sorry, on the in the team. We didn't need to forfeit every other position. Saka were getting a striker in for another one. So I mean, I just feel like I understand what you're saying, Bill, and you're right. It is Mikel Arteta and Edu. They basically they balls up here, and not that with this that's all going on. It creates a negative vibe within the team, and then with that and the players going out on the pitch, and if they got negative vibes about them, they're not going to perform as much, are they? So, this is why, because this is going to be a long-lasting saga now from now, right the way through the January transfer window, which personally, I don't think you get Ramsdale in January. I really don't, right? Because we haven't got already a decent keeper for backup from Raya if he does go. So personally, I think Ramsdale will be here at Arsenal till the end of the season. Then it gets sorted.
Yeah.
I hope it causes a massive issue for you personally, Anthony. I hope there's arguments in the changing room.
You've got issues with Man United. I mean, bloody hell. I mean, listen, look, I'm in the building trade. If you want me to come down to Old Trafford, do a bit of work on the roof, put in a light bulb, get the toilets, I'll ring up Rent to Kill and get rid of the rats. I'll do all that for you, Mr. Bill.
Are you sure?
Listen, you wouldn't do that. You'd be doing us a favor. So no, you wouldn't do that. What you might do is bring more racks.
Oh well, yeah, that's a dead story.
Yeah, that's more what I think you're gonna be doing. But guys, you know what? We're 4 minutes away from the hour already.
That's gone quick.
Yeah, that's mad. That's mad. The time has gone really, 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 really quick. But look, I'm gonna big up Rajiji as always. Naif Alenzi. Alanazi. Naif Alanazi. Big up, bro. Never seen your name before. If you are a bro, if you're not, I'm sorry. Not sorry that you're not a bro, but sorry that I called you a bro. Rory C, DK Wilson, Joe Evans. I'm sure you and you as well. Teddy, although you keep changing your name, we know who you are, Rod. I know who you are now. Bath time. We deserve better. Rajat. I hope I haven't forgotten anybody on here. If I have, apologies. Please hit the like button on the way out. Guys, we will be back next week. I will get the fantasy league table up, right? We will be having our scores from the week before. We didn't do it this week because it didn't make sense. Our score predictions. And guys on the channel, we will be back on Monday. We will have a well-earned weekend off. Anthony, what are you doing over the weekend? Are you on any streams? Can we find you out there?
Yeah, you can find me on. Me and Billy, we're going to be. Actually, no, we're not. Not this weekend. Not this weekend. No, it's international. So we're going to have the weekend off, Bill. We got this weekend off, and then we'll be back the following weekend on the Premier League show, where we're going to be talking all things Premier League, picking out the best teams, and obviously doing our worst players, our best players, worst team, best team, and also doing our predictions as well on our show. So, get everybody in the chat. If you just log on to there, you can get involved. Show starts around about between 7:30 on a Sunday.
You haven't said what channel it's on.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's on football. It's on Match Channel. It's on Football United TV. I do apologise.
There you go. Ian, are you a YouTube whore or are you just a silent watcher?
Silent watcher.
Yeah, okay. I knew you weren't going to say you were a whore. I know who it is. So, guys and ladies, be safe. We will be back on Monday, with more Man United news. I feel it's going to be a busy weekend. I'm sure if anything does break, then the Rebel will be on it anyway. But guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on Monday.